So one of the things that I want to talk about is, of course, Raphtalia, and one of the major scenes in Season 2 for Rising the Shield Hero that I feel like should not have been done in the way it was done. And this actually goes against what the light novels did entail, and of course I'll explain what the anime has done briefly, and then explain exactly what the light novels did and why the light novel version makes more sense and why the anime should not have done it. So the short version of what Raphtalia did was that she recommended the actual crest to, of course, the new companion for the team, for the Shield Heroes team itself, and was very gung-ho on it. You know, took her by hand, dragged her to the actual individual that does all the crests, and then said, hey, let's have this crest on, you know, it will help, it'll be amazing, and tried to really buff up this idea. And then the Shield Hero stepped in and said, no, don't force her to do something that she doesn't want to do, which then she turned around and requested to have the crest put on her. Short version of that. The actual light novel version is very different. It's more done in a comedic sense, in that it's actually the Shield Hero that recommends it, but he only recommends the crest system and doesn't explain why to do the idea itself. Of course, in his mind, he's instantly thinking, okay, this can boost level, we can get better stats, it will help with everything. And then there's also the consideration also to also reset her levels as well, because of the fact that everything's been messed up with her powers, all the stuff that's gone on with her in her leveling process. He has considered the idea of resetting, but due to the fact that so many things are ongoing, the waves and all of that, it's just not the right time to reset her levels and go through that process again, because he could power level her, which is actually what is happening to Raphtalia's childhood friend. That one also got asked as well. So at the same time, the childhood friend and, of course, our little crybaby herself were both suggested the crest, and of course they both freaked out because of the word of it, and that was it. The Shield Hero just suggested the crest and that was it. And of course it's Raphtalia that then explains that, you know, the Shield Hero isn't a bad guy, there's a reason for it, and then the explaining process, and then they go, oh, and then he goes along with it, or both parties, the childhood friend and of course our little crybaby. I just love to call her crybaby, but she's definitely a fun character, and I think that, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a lot of room for growth for her. Now, the reason why I don't like the way the anime has done it is because the anime has kind of contradicted Raphtalia's personality. Again, in the light novel, it was done as a comedic sense. The Shield Heroes just brazenly suggested it, given no context. It's like a really terrible joke with no context, and everyone's just freaking out, and then it's just like, oh, that's the context. It's like one of those inside jokes. It's probably a bad way to put it, but the Shield Hero knew what he was suggesting. Raphtalia knew what he was suggesting, and they didn't, because they associate the crest with bad things. They don't know the benefits that come with it, and the fact that he doesn't have any of the settings set except you can't lie to him. That's the only setting, which I've explained in the previous video. So it's done for a comedic sense and then explained to them afterwards, which then they're on board with once they realize. But in the anime, it's Raphtalia that does the suggesting, and the reasoning for it is that, you know, she doesn't want to feel alone. But that just feels kind of a little bit hamstringed together, because the original reasoning why she put it on was to show her loyalty to the Shield Hero, which has always been the case of her trying to show that she is loyal to the Shield Hero, because of course he has trust issues for obvious reasons. Of course, go back to season 1, you'll know, and that was the reasoning. So for her to then suggest it to someone else, and then also scrapping the other individual that was there as well, which again, childhood friend for Raphtalia, it just feels like it really goes against who Raphtalia is. And I get that they're trying to shorten the scene as much as possible, because they're doing that with all the other stuff to try and get through volume 6 and 7 as quickly as possible. But it was the worst decision to do. Out of all of the things for the beginning of season 2 for Shield Hero, that's the one thing that did irk me the most. I can live with everything else. Everything else is fine for me, except maybe, of course, they could have added in Claire versus Ren fight, but that could be done later on. But for the crest system, Raphtalia should not have been the one that suggested it, and especially in the way she did. So again, that's just my personal opinion, my sort of analysis on that particular scene. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I've definitely seen a lot of people in the comment section agreeing with that thought process, because of course, it again, even for anime fans only, it does go against who Raphtalia is. It contradicts her personality. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.